Oh, his immigration policy is by far and away.
Okay. Can you name one benefit his immigration policy has had on the average American?
His immigration policies are, in my opinion, helping the American people get back to, you know.
How old are you?
41.
Do you support Trump?
Absolutely.
Election out today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
All right. Why do you support Trump?
I support Trump because he aligns more with my politics and what I believe in. I mean, there are things that he has done that I don't agree with, and there are things that he's done that I do agree with. Now, I know you're, what are you, 19 or 20?
I'm 24.
You're 24. Okay. So there was a time back in the 90s, because I grew up, I was born in 1985. So I grew up in a time where we were against the establishment. Now, your side was against the liberal side of the establishment, like my side was against the conservative side of the establishment. So we have been looking for change for a long time. And Trump, in my opinion, was what the conservative part of that movement was. Now, it's benefited both sides, because in your side, the establishment on the liberal side are being basically, primaried out of office. I think that's a great thing. Just like on the Republican side, the establishment people are being primaried out of their elections. Where that goes in 20 years, who knows? But it's going to work in both favors where, Donald Trump will be out of office in 2028. Then you guys will pick up you're going to put in a non-establishment candidate finally, because you guys messed that up with Biden. Biden should have never been the candidate in 2020, and you know that. And hopefully you guys get your non-establishment candidate in 2028. And then maybe we could finally go back to what we've all been wanting for a long time.
Okay. So I'm confused what your broader point was from this. Like, could you tell me, like, maybe your best policy of Trump, or you think his biggest accomplishment?
Oh, his immigration policy is by far and away.
Okay. Can you name one benefit his immigration policy has had on the average American?
His immigration policies are, in my opinion, helping the American people get back to, with lowering costs, because we've had to pump so much money into all these other federally funded programs, because when you allow, 10 to 20 million illegal immigrants into the country, we have to house them, we have to support them, we have to get them to places, you have to try to find them work. I mean, it puts a toll on the federal government. And we've had to pump so much money into that we finally can rescind some of that money, because we're getting some of them out. Now, granted, there are people that should not be kicked out of this country. If you've been in this country, you've paid taxes, you've done your due diligence, and you've been filing your paperwork to stay here, I believe you have a right to stay here. But I don't believe that you have a right to spend 30 years in this country and not be a United States citizen, because you're benefiting off of not being a citizen of this country.
Okay, so the idea that 20 million people came to our country undocumented is ridiculously false. 14 million people.
10 to 20.
Yeah,
10 to 20.
Yeah, there are 14 million people in the country undocumented total. The amount of change in the undocumented immigrant population was 3.5 million, according to Pew Research. The idea that it was 10 to 20 million is absurd. That's multiple times higher than any good data that indicates. Hey, buddy, please be quiet and let me please finish after I let you speak. Is that okay?
Sure.
I'll let you talk about multiple things I thought were absurd. Please let me finish what I was saying. Okay. So there's no federal funding for housing for undocumented immigrants. What you're thinking about is state funding for asylum seekers, which is a legal process of immigration, and it's for certain states, not even for the federal government. And this doesn't lower costs across the board, because immigrants actually pay more into the systems than they take out of it. Immigration over the past 30 years, according to a Cato Institute study, has actually decreased the deficit by $14.5 trillion. So the idea that immigrants actually increase costs is absurd. Along with the idea that, like, undocumented immigrants are getting federally funded programs. That's obviously absurd. Plus, we've seen inflation go up since Trump's got in office. So how do you like that?
Can you want to go into money now? So let's just put it this way. So under Joe Biden, when inflation rose up to as high as 9.5%, no one said boo-hoo about it. Trump's been in office now for a year and a half, and inflation hasn't rose any higher than 4.2. So year over year, inflation has grown only to a certain number, which is not even close to what Biden had it at. You got to remember that I understand money, and the fact is you'll never get it back down to where it was before Joe Biden took office, because when you inflate something at a 9.5% clip, the only way to get it back down to where it needs to be is to deflate everything to minus 9.5%, which can't happen. So if inflation is only rising at literally half of that, and we're in a major war right now that we need to establish and get rid of and finally finish this war, then yeah, numbers will come down. But as of right now, gas prices are sitting at $1.80 what's called what is it? I'm sorry, $80 a barrel. And at Joe Biden's peak, the barrel got up to almost $1.70 a barrel. And because we have gas industry that is gouging the crap out of the oil industry right now, that's the reason why gas prices are a little higher than they need to be. But the fact is that you cannot honestly tell me that Joe Biden didn't put this country in such a deficit because of those policies that rose inflation almost to 10%. And it took almost 3 years to get it back down. And he never got it below 3.5.
Okay, so you're just wrong on like almost every claim he made. Inflation was 3% when Biden left office, so the idea that you never got it below 3.5% is absurd. It never went up to 9.5%. The highest was 9.1% for one specific month, and that was not due to Biden's administration's policies. That was due to inflation that happened all around the world due to supply chain issues relating to the pandemic. So I don't know why you sat there and lied and said it was due to his policies. Can you name me the policy that Joe Biden passed that caused that level of inflation?
Because when Donald Trump left office, he passed that, he signed the executive order to help the manufacturing to boost with the military to boost the COVID vaccines. And then because the Democrats didn't want to do anything that Trump did that was good for the country, he came in, signed 30 something or whatever number executive orders to basically rescind everything that Trump did. And the moment
not on
he
Operation
did
Warp
that,
Speed. That's not true.
well,
They expanded and
yes, it was.
expedited the release of the vaccine under the Biden administration.
Yeah, but he also signed executive orders to he signed executive orders to have like states like California were able to rescind federal regulations to allow ship and cargoes to get into this country with a lot easier without the burdensome regulations that they place on things in California.
Wait, the regulations in California have nothing to do with the federal government's policies, right? That then cause inflation. Can you tell me what Biden policy caused inflation?
They do with the ports to allow them to get
what Biden policy caused inflation? Be clear.
It's not what Biden policy caused. It's the fact that he took away Trump's executive orders.
Instead of Trump's executive orders weren't decreasing inflation. So, what executive order was decreasing inflation that Trump passed?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you the exact name of it, but I just know that he honestly got rid of all of
Why can't he put that in place now? Because we've seen inflation go up to higher levels than what it was at the end of the Biden administration.
But what inflation number are you talking about? Because the last one that came out was 4.2, and then the last one he just had was 3 point something.
3.4.
But
that's higher than what the
3.4
3% was when Trump got in office. And plus, that's because of the fact that Trump started a war with Iran that caused gas prices to go up, which, by the way, are still up, and we still have no resolution to the Iran war.
The barrel is sitting at $80 a barrel, $80 a barrel, and it's fluctuating between 75 and 80. I don't understand why gas prices aren't down back to like the 370 range where they should be
let me tell you, because of the fact that that oil prices are higher, the idea that oil prices are higher because of the level of distribution of oil being lesser because of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. That's the reason.
And you understand why he's done what he's done, because he wants to try to get these other countries to come buy it from us, which is what they're going to end up doing. So in my opinion, it's a good thing, because we're going to basically take Iran completely out of the oil industry if they start coming to get it from us. And that will make our country a lot of money.
What you're not understanding is that reduces the level of supply available to domestic consumers within our country, along with the fact that that also makes oil more expensive on a global stage and makes it less efficient in terms of trade, because the cost of trade, specifically in the context of the trade that exists for oil otherwise, was less expensive. That's why it was operating that way prior. So this is more expensive. Although we're making money off of it, it's not for like a very long time period, and it's not even mostly net beneficial to our country. I would say it's a net negative, and that's what most economists are agreeing to.
Yeah, economists also say a lot of things, but yet we have hundreds upon hundreds of years of oil in our ground that we just choose not to extract. We
Because
choose
it's
to,
not as profitable to do so.
it's not as profitable on the,
Yeah.
yes, there you go. It's not as it's profitable for big time companies to do it. That doesn't
Yeah,
benefit us because
that's called
profitability, no,
capitalism,
no.
genius.
When you have profitability
Are
that
you
is not as
criticizing
profitable.
capitalism right now?
No, I'm not criticizing capital.
It
I'm
sounds
just
like you
telling you
are.
that because of our politicians that have literally been stealing from us dry, this is the problem. Because we look at everything as a
Politicians like Trump,
profitability,
right?
and they like to send all those contracts across seas and get huge money to come
Yeah,
into
yeah,
them.
like Jared Kushner, who sold our largest refinery to Saudi Arabia.
Listen, I don't agree with a lot of with Kushner, so you're not going to get me on that one. I don't agree
Yeah.
with a lot of things that they do. Listen, that's a different story. I'm not talking about that.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's Trump's son-in-law, is it not?
I understand it's Trump's son-in-law, but
You
I
guys
don't
made a
have
big
to
deal
agree
about
with.
Hunter Biden.
Huh?
You guys made a big deal about Hunter Biden.
I didn't.
You never did? You never once made a big deal about Hunter Biden?
No. How Hunter Biden chooses to make his money is his own business, not mine.
Okay, really interesting.
I honestly, I really don't care how you.
How do you
Listen.
feel
If
about
you're a
Trump
crook,
making
you're a crook.
billions from the presidency, dropping a meme coin, rug pulling it, turning his crypto company into a bank?
But he did all that before he became president. Just
Nope, he's
because
doing this while president.
listen, he's got businesses, and what you want the man to do? Just say, I'm not going to do anything with my businesses while I'm
Yes,
president. He
yes,
started
yes,
stuff when he
yes,
was
yes,
not
yes, yes,
president,
yes, yes, yes,
and then
yes,
because, well, listen, you here. I'm going to give
yes.
you this, and you probably will agree with me on this one. If the Democrats didn't try to go after him for every single thing they did, they wouldn't have pissed off the entire half the country and got this man reelected. And you know that.
Okay, so the idea that just because Democrats called out Trump, that means the Democrats' fault for Trump getting into his position, I think is absurd. Now, the type of or what things that you do decide to call out is something that you could question. Yeah, of course, you could have done things that are more reflective of reality, which I think we did, right? And the reality of the matter is that the vast majority of the country is either unwilling to look into it enough to be able to be against Trump, right, or simply didn't have the information, or simply liked that. Right? That's the reality.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just telling you that the reason why the majority of the country, now listen, the majority of the country, half the country are Republicans, half the country are Democrats, or you want to go 40-40, and then you're 20% independents. The fact of the matter is
Well,
that,
there's a
let's
lot
go,
of apolitical people you're not considering.
again,
That might
I'm
even
just
be a
talking
larger share
about the
than
numbers that
the
I
original
know of.
groups you just mentioned, but
But here's what I'm trying to say is that evidently Trump is doing something right in the Republican Party, considering the fact that he sits at an 89% favorability amongst the Republican Party. He may be a net disfavorability amongst independents and Democrats, but his favorability amongst Republicans is still very high.
exactly my point. You guys are.
That's
Who's
just
your next
because
candidate?
we're just a cult following and that's why
Yeah,
we like it. Or maybe it's got something to do with the fact that he's like the first conservative freaking Republican we've had in years that is actually doing things that better conservatism.
okay, sir,
You
can I
ever
ask you a
think of
question?
that?
Who do you have
Yeah.
outside of him? Who's next?
Who's next? It's going to be Rubio.
Okay, you know Rubio for sure. What do you like about Rubio? Can you name one good thing he's done?
I think he's actually very good at foreign policy, and I think he actually has a very good agenda overseas. I think he has a very good relationship with all the foreign diplomats of overseas because of his, having, the background from being from Cuba and understanding how to work with those regimes, understanding how
Really?
they come from.
So do you think he's like anti-communist?
Do I think Rubio is anti-communist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to maintain a relationship with North Korea over South Korea?
No.
No. So he's not going to be allied with a communist dictatorship.
No, I think what he'll do is exactly what Trump is doing, cozy up to these people to make them bend the knee to his will. And then eventually, like every president
Bend
does.
the knee to as well. Is
when-
that what Iran's doing? Is that what North Korea's doing?
How
Because
come
I
you
don't
have a
think
problem
that.
how
I
come
think
you
that
didn't have a
actually we
problem
were
with
bending
Obama
to Kim
when
Jong
Obama did it
Un's
with Fidel
knee.
Castro?
Wait,
Can I
actually,
ask
we
you
were
that?
bending our knee to Kim Jong Un because we actually told Pete Hegseth to like literally stop all these military training exercises within South Korea because North Korea didn't like it.
Well, how come you don't have a problem with Obama doing it with Fidel Castro? That's what I'm asking.
Doing
They
what
do it.
with
All
doing what with
presidents
Fidel
do it all the
Castro?
time. That's Obama was over there working with Fidel Castro, trying to get him to freaking do everything that he wanted him to do. That's why he had a relationship with Fidel Castro. All presidents have a relationship with other people that you don't like. Why? Because it's good policy to not
What you're not
piss off your
understanding, though,
enemies.
is that Obama never cozied up to a dictator over a democratic
Castro is not a
nation like
dictator.
South Korea.
He
South Korea is
invited
a democratic
Castro
nation. Do you
to
agree
a
South Korea is
ball game.
democratic?
What?
Do you agree South Korea is democratic?
South Korea is, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Why the hell would you ever side with North Korea, the dictatorship, over South Korea, the democracy?
How do you say he's siding with him, or how is it maybe he's just talking
No,
to him
yeah,
to
he
try to keep
betrayed
things
South
at bay?
Korea and specifically was siding with North Korea and explicitly says that they were going to stop doing military training exercises because, again, North Korea has been very peaceful during his presidency. After, again,
And
remember
that's
in
a
his
bad
first
thing?
term, Trump was claiming that North Korea was like the end of the world, right? Do you not remember any of that shit? So again, like the
Oh,
point I was
and
just
yeah,
bringing this
and
up
guess
for,
what?
the point I was just
What
bringing
has
this up
North
for
Korea
was
done since since Trump was in office for his first term, and then during Biden's term, and
so
then
what is
now
Marco
again?
Rubio going to do? Let's say he gets elected in 2028. What is he going to do to the relationship with North Korea once he gets in office? Is he going to end that relationship?
No, he's not going
The,
to end the relationship with North
he's going to
Korea.
stay allied with them?
He trying to make sure I'm getting my continents correct. So yeah, so North Korea, he's going to do
Sir,
exactly
what continent is North Korea located in?
Asia.
Okay, what do you mean
No,
you're trying to get
I'm
your
trying.
continents right?
When you say North Korea and South Korea, I'm getting confused with thinking like in my head like North Korea is Kim Jong Un, South Korea is what? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
South
just getting
Korea
a
is
little.
what?
South Korea is. We were talking about North Korea with Kim Jong Un, and South Korea is whatever our ally. I'm just trying to.
Do you
I
mean
don't want to.
countries?
What?
Do you mean countries?
Yeah, I said countries.
You said
I'm.
continents. Sorry.
Oh, I said the wrong. I apologize. I'm just trying
It's okay.
to.
I was confused. I was really
No,
confused.
no.
I was
I'm
like,
just
what do
trying
you
to.
mean
I'm
by
trying
different
to.
continents?
When we start going back and forth with the same name with South and North, you can confuse yourself real fast. So no, I think Rubio will again. I don't. I think that people
But what
take
has he done that's
what
good? You said you like his foreign policy. What has he done that's good?
I mean. The fact that he's got Europe, listening to him. He goes over there. He speaks to them all the time. I think that they're working their way to a better place. I mean, there has been less terrorism in Europe since Trump took back over. I mean,
No,
there's
what
less
did Marco
terrorism all
Rubio
over.
do? And you said he's been speaking with Europe. And then I'll ask you, what speaking with Europe was he doing that demonstrates he strengthened our allyships with these European countries more than what the Democrats did? Because I would argue our relationships right now with our European allies are worse than what they were under the Democrats.
You don't hear anything about what Rubio's do because they keep everything hush hush.
Okay, so you don't know anything that he's done.
I just know that there has been so much less terrorism over in Europe since he's been doing a lot.
But what has he
since he's
done?
been handling foreign policy.
But what has he
I
done?
couldn't tell
That's
you
called
what
the
he's done.
correlation causation fallacy. What has he done?
I couldn't tell you what he's done.
Oh, but yet you
I
still
just know
support him.
that
But yet you still support him.
I support the fact that we've had less terrorism in the world since they've come back into power.
Yeah,
so evidently,
would you ever support a
right.
candidate for president that released domestic terrorists into the country?
Would I ever? No.
Or pardoned? Yeah. So Trump pardoned January 6th violent rioters who are domestic terrorists to this country. He also pardoned the ex-president of Honduras that was convicted of trafficking over 400 tons of sea drug to our country. So a narco terrorist. By the way, you can't say any specific DRUG name, just letting you know.
You can go back to January 6th all you want. I mean, it was a protest that got out of hand.
Protest, sir, that was a violent riot that they were trying to insurrect the Capitol.
And what they did in Seattle wasn't what they did in
Did we pardon those people? When did the Democrats pardon those people?
Well, no, because they never got arrested.
They didn't?
They
okay.
never got
Wait,
arrested.
so hold up.
No, they were allowed to sit on a corner.
What's your source?
And create a safe zone for themselves.
Wait, what's your source that people who committed violence and attacked police officers were not held accountable under the Democrats? And were pardoned? I'd love to see this.
Well, I'd love to see it too, because the fact is, they were never. Well, you couldn't pardon, a state capital charge, whatever. But they lit, I mean, not for nothing. They lit
interesting.
police buildings on fire. That was okay. Lighting police buildings on fire was okay. But a couple of people that got out of hand.
No, it wasn't. Those people were held accountable for lighting police departments on fire. That's ridiculous. Okay, that would be absurd.
Oh, they did. I guess you forgot the burning buildings all over the place. I guess that was okay.
Again, like you guys heavily overblew that. You guys said that cities were burned down, which is not true. Not even close.
They lit a police station on fire.
That does not mean a whole city burned down.
They burnt down an entire block. The entire block was on fire.
Wait. I don't even know if there's source of the entire block. Also, even so, that's not an entire city. And even so, again, I don't see what the broader point from this is. Like, those people were not pardoned. Those people were held accountable. The idea that they weren't held accountable is ludicrous.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example where I can actually prove it to you because I know all the stuff on this.
Yeah, give me a single source of a single individual not being prosecuted intentionally by liberals.
On fire, and Alvin Bragg pardoned them and released them with no problems. That was cool. Alvin Bragg released 2 lawyers, Democratic lawyers, who burnt a cop car to the ground, and that was cool.
Oh, let me see the source. And by the way, that's not like a presidential candidate, but I'll look.
Source, just type in what's it called? Alvin Bragg releases lawyers that burnt cop car, and that'll come up with it. Source, you don't get a source for that. That's an easy one.
So search it up is a nice source. I love doing research for everyone else. It's so fun. Where does it say he's pardoned?
I didn't say pardoned. It said they refused to prosecute.
Oh, okay. You did say pardoned, but where did Alvin Bragg say that they're not prosecuting?
Alvin Bragg refused.
And did they say because there was no evidence?
That he couldn't do it.
What was the reason?
I don't know. I just know they refused to prosecute the 2 guys that lit a cop car on fire and burned it to the ground, almost killed a cop. That was okay, though, in your mind.
No, of course it's not okay to burn some... again, you're not engaging with my point. They said 2 NYPD cops were accused Friday of covering up a drunken car crash involving a fellow officer in Manhattan.
When was that? That's got to be new. I'm talking about this was back when Joe Biden was president.
I looked what you're saying. I don't see what you're talking about. If you'd like to tell me where I can find this. That's what came up first. That's from New York Post, too. Are you talking about the people who burned a cop car?
Yeah, people who burned a cop car.
Yeah, they're facing life in prison.
No, they're not. That's no.
Yeah,
there
they
are
are.
2 lawyers that burnt the cop car down. They got released.
Where? Where do you see that?
I know it. I don't know where I'm seeing it. I don't have a computer in front of me. I'm on my phone.
You have a phone, so just look it up. I'll give you time. And if you accidentally leave the live, I'll make sure to bring you back up. Give him a second, everybody. We'll see if you can find this information, because I don't know what he's looking at. John, thank you very much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Austin, thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Kids are W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you. Ooh, that's actually diabolical. They said the United Kingdom suspended specific intelligence sharing with the U.S. Regarding the Caribbean under Trump 2.0. Diabolical. So as Fossey, thank you very much for the $1.50. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, that's so funny. I'll have to see. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's so funny. That's honestly hilarious. As well as Fossey, thank you for the $1.50. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Hope your day and lives are going well. So far, no message. Oh, good to see you as always. Well, thank you very much. As well as Debriana, thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much. Alrighty. Give it a second. Sky, thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so I found
Jamie as well. Thank you, the Galaxy. What's the title?
Oh.
All right, we can't hear you when you're out of the app, man. You got to swipe back in for us to be able to hear you. Just memorize the title, come back into the app, and tell me the title.
All right, you there?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, go ahead and say it.
Okay.
He swiped out again.
No, I'm sorry. I wanted to get it right. So
it's okay.
Okay, so its lawyer gets 15 months in prison for firebombing car.
So they got prison time.
Yeah, with a cop inside it. So he got 15 months. Originally, Alvin Bragg, I didn't know they tried it. Originally,
okay, wait. So you said that this person got pardoned, then you said, after I proved that wrong, that this person instead was never charged. Now you're admitting this person was
said life in
sentenced.
prison. You said life in prison.
This was a different case. We were looking at two different cases.
Yeah, and again, originally, I haven't followed the case since back in when it was in 2022. They originally, Alvin Bragg refused to prosecute the crime, and then
that's just not true. You just cited how that person was sentenced. And
No,
what was
I'm
your
saying
source that the car was
Alvin
full?
Bragg
Wait,
was
well, can I hear the title again? I want to read what you're referencing again. What's the title?
Lawyer gets 15 months in prison for firebombing police car.
Okay. Now, is this from AP News?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bunch of them on there.
Okay. Sentenced to 15 months behind bars for firebombing an empty. It literally says in the first sentence, a New York City attorney was sentenced to 15 months behind bars on Friday for firebombing an empty New York City police vehicle with another lawyer during protests over the murder of George Floyd.
I'm telling you this right now. That thing could say whatever it wants. I actually know a lot of NYPD's lieutenants. That car wasn't empty. You can say whatever you want.
So now you're disputing the very source you just cited?
No. I'm telling you that all the sources wrote that there was an empty car. I know for a fact it wasn't an empty car because I have a lot of people on the inside. So
you have a lot of people on the inside. Who's on the inside?
You think I'm telling you their names are out of your mind?
No, I'm just asking. Like, I'm not asking you to tell me the people's names that you've got on the inside. I'm asking, like, are they like cops or like who do you have on the inside?
Detectives, cops, lieutenants.
You have detectives, New York City police. So then, why didn't they like publicize this information?
Because in New York, they don't publicize anything.
Okay, so the New York PD police department and detectives that you know don't want to politicize publicize that information.
This was back when when at the beginning when the Floyd riots were going on.
This was published in 2022.
Yeah, and that was when Eric Adams was still mayor, and until they basically brought in Jessica Tisch to oversee the NYPD, there was a lot of corruption going on in the NYPD, and on Mary Adams' side, and they, basically they kept things quiet. And also, Bragg
if you think things were kept quiet, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You have no evidence for that. You're just claiming, quote unquote, inside sources at NYPD, which I don't believe you for jack shit, to be honest with you. I don't believe you at all. This case clearly indicates that was an empty New York City police vehicle. Okay, and this person was convicted and sentenced, and you claimed they weren't even prosecuted. So you were just lying. How does it feel?
No, because if you gave me more time, if I had more time, I can run back and find the original.
No, it's not. It's not. You need more time. It's that you were lying.
No. The original article.
You still decided to continue to lie even after reading the title.
No,
that proved you wrong.
I'm trying to explain to you that before the original article, because originally Alvin Bragg refused to actually prosecute the case. I didn't realize that after they ended up doing it anyway. I was wrong.
When did he refuse? Can you give me a source for him refusing?
I just use my computer to find it while I'm sitting in my house.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Yeah, why not? Nothing else to do in my life, right?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Let's see.
How does your TDS feel though? Like the Trump devotion syndrome?
What does that mean?
Your Trump devotion syndrome?
Trump devotion syndrome?
Yeah.
I don't really care about my Trump devotion syndrome.
Yeah, like how you'll support Trump no matter what.
That's not true.
Can you name a single thing Trump could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
A single thing that he would do?
A single thing that he could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
Let's see. One, if he got us into World War II, World War III. Two, if he basically doesn't fix the economy like he needs to. I'm of the belief I will give him a little time because of the fact that he had a lot of damage to fix after Joe Biden left office. Gas prices again are coming down, so I think that's a good thing. So he's done that. What are something
I wish she didn't sign the big beautiful bill because that was a joke.
You think the big beautiful bill was a joke?
Yeah, it's a big joke. Again, it was not what he promised us because you Washington will be Washington. They love to throw nonsense into a monster bill.
If you think the big beautiful bill was a joke, then why do you support Trump? That's like his main thing, isn't it?
No. His main thing that he fought, what he was, to certain things, but you can't stop Washington from being Washington. See, you always try to tie the one big beautiful bill to Trump, which is fine. But the fact is that thing was signed bipartisan by both the Democrats and Republicans, and then he signed it into law. So both of them, again, both parties have a price to pay in the crap that they cause us. And it happens every single time. I wish, I'm the type that wishes that we had more divided government because I hate when one party has sole control because nothing gets done. It's all joke. So if the Democrats win the House back, I believe that things will get better. That's how I feel.
So you want people to vote for Dems in the midterms?
I want the Dems to take back the House so things can get accomplished because I've always felt that when you have divided Congress, that they work together better. I truly believe that.
Okay,
because they can't blame each other.
You heard it here first, folks. A MAGA supporter genuinely wants Democrats to win in the midterms?
Can I explain?
Yeah.
The reason for that is because whenever you have one side control, the other party that's not in control will do everything in their power to blame the other side. And the reason why they do that is because when you have Democrats will always fight their way for their abortion rights. They'll fight their way for their immigration rights, all that stuff. When both parties have been saying that we have an immigration problem for years. It's been going on forever. And what do? Nothing. They bring up the Dreamers, but you think the Democrats care about the Dreamers? No. They just want to use that as a slogan for their party, just like the Republicans
we do.
want to use it as a slogan
for we do. We care about Dreamers.
No. You as a Democrat, as a person does. Our politicians as Democrats could care less about them because all they care about is them staying in power and keep basically stealing from us blind.
Because how do you know that's all that they care about, each individual person? Do you have to have evidence of this being true, or do you just believe it because you feel like it?
No, how does all these politicians come in making $120,000 a year, and then they're absolved of insider trading, where they get to write the laws.
So AOC doesn't have a lot of money. She literally just reported her level of wealth and income recently. So do you support her?
Did I say AOC? I never said her name.
Do you support her?
Listen, I don't like her policies, but I think she's more genuine than half the people that have been there. Like I would say she's better than Nancy Pelosi because I believe she's.
So if it's AOC versus Rubio, who are you voting for?
Oh, I'm a Republican. I'm going to vote Rubio.
So who do you think has made more money from the position of politics, Rubio or AOC?
Rubio.
Okay, yet you don't care about that?
No, I do care about that. The problem is, it's still not. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to vote for a Democrat because I won't. Because I don't believe in the policies they choose. I just believe that AOC is I believe AOC is the candidate you guys dream of, because I believe that that's the non-establishment candidate that you guys have been fighting for. Like I said, like myself, since the 90s. That's why I tell you that Donald Trump paved the way for an AOC. If you didn't have a Donald Trump, you wouldn't have AOC. I'll tell you that right now.
I disagree because AOC pre-exists. AOC.
No, hold up. She won an election. What was it? 2018 after Trump won.
AOC pre-exists. The support for AOC and Bernie-like individuals pre-exists Donald Trump. Okay. The idea that individuals like Bernie and AOC would only get support because of individuals like Trump, I think is wrong, because people like Bernie already had massive support within the Democratic Party at that point.
I'm saying to you that if Donald Trump doesn't get elected in 2016, AOC doesn't get elected in 2018. And the reason for that is because he wouldn't have ginned up the party so much to get people to recognize that they wanted their point of change. You really think that AOC, without that gin up base where they pissed off the entire party,
would have beat that establishment candidate in New York. I forgot his name. The guy that was in politics for 30 years as the House, and then she.
Yes, I do.
I don't. Again, I don't believe it.
Because I think that was more dependent upon how that specific district was responding to corporate politics rather than it specifically being a determination or fact based upon, just Trump.
Again, that's your opinion against mine. There's
Okay.
no way to prove it. They're just opinions. They're just opinions.
Okay.
But your party has gone more with non-establishment candidates ever since Trump has become in office. Bernie Sanders was the first one to preach
That was
this.
before Trump, though.
Of course. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it took a Donald Trump to basically get those type of people out. Like you're finally getting the Nancy Pelosi's to retire. That's a good thing.
That's just because she was going to retire around this time anyway. I don't think this is because of Trump. If anything, I think she stayed in politics longer because of people like Trump.
No, she stayed in politics because, again, when you get a whiff and taste of power, it's very hard to give it up. You should understand this. Like, these people have this power amongst us that literally that we are supposed to just bend the knee to. And I'm sick of it. So if it took a Donald Trump to basically blow up the establishment, I am glad. And I'm hoping that it can continue because I'm hoping that we finally get some fresh faces, fresh ideas, and less people that are all about power and more about actually helping the American people.
So
I'm
then
not
why
gonna
didn't
say
you
that's gonna
support the
happen.
candidate that was more in accordance with those values rather than the grifter in charge?
Because, again, Kamala Harris is the establishment.
Okay,
She's
so
been
Donald
in
Trump
power in
represents
politics
everything you
since
hate about the
1990
establishment
something.
even more.
She has been in power since the 90s and did nothing
In
for
power
California.
since the 90s? When was she in power in the 90s?
When she's been in politics since the 90s. Since she got Willie Brown took her under her wing. Then she became district attorney of California.
In what
Then
year?
It was back in the 90s, dude. I don't know the
It was
year.
it was either late 90s or early 2000s. I remember that.
It was late
I thought
90s.
I thought it was the very beginning of the 2000s.
No, I'm pretty sure I think it was like 90. I thought it was 98, but I could be wrong. But I thought it was 1998. But I know she was in there.
that would make sense. What's wrong with that?
Again, it's 30 years of politics that we're trying to eliminate.
Yeah, but
This
these
is
are
my
in different
point.
positions, sir. Radically different positions.
But again, all I'm saying is that that she became an establishment candidate the day she went into the Senate. Once she got into the Senate, she became an establishment candidate. And again, when you're in politics for 30 years and you're
Yeah, she was the first district attorney in 2004.
Yeah, but she was way before that under under Willie Brown.
Yeah, you're talking about in between 1990 and 98, she worked to serve the San Francisco District Attorney's office. That doesn't mean she was the district attorney.
I never said she was. I said she worked under Willie Brown. I'm just saying that's how it all started. That's how she got into politics, under Willie Brown. I'm not going to bring up the other nonsense because that's stupid. I won't degrade people for nonsense. That's bullshit.
Okay, well, thank you for acknowledging that.
Yeah, no, I don't agree. Again, that has nothing to do with anything of why I don't agree with what Kamala Harris stood for. I just believe. I'm sorry, Kamala. I don't believe that. I don't believe she would have not done exactly what every other president has done or any other candidate has done. I believe she would have stayed with the status quo, and that's why I couldn't support her because, again, I could care less if it's a Democrat or Republican. As long as they go against the establishment, that's all I care about. I'm so sick of the establishment. I've been against it since the 90s. And that's what we've been fighting for forever. It's just that Donald Trump broke the mold and now on the conservative side, not the Democratic side. So, yes, if you guys get your AOC, you'll understand what it is.
What anti-establishment candidate do you think you have a shot at getting in 2028?
Honestly, after Trump, I don't know. I just know that Rubio is the better choice. But
he's establishment.
Well, my anti-establishment candidate will never get elected, but that would be Tulsi Gabbard. That's who I've wanted to be Trump's running mate to begin with. Because I actually truly believe
who wants no new wars, right?
Yes, and I truly believe that she is that. I don't think
Then
she would ever become that. I would hope that she could be like the vice president of, the choice of the running mate.
it's not
But
going to happen
no.
at this point, especially because she's against them committing war. You think there would be a Rubio Gabbard ticket? That to me
No,
sounds
no, 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 no.
insane because Rubio's like a neocon and Gabbard is
No,
someone who's supposed to be anti-war.
no.
Supposed
I
to
think
be.
that. Yeah, no, no. I agree with what you're saying.
Just
I'm
how
just
like
giving you
RFK is
my
supposed to
honest
care about
opinion.
the environment, right?
I'm just giving you my opinion on who I think would be the next be the next anti-establishment candidate that could be, but would never be. Listen, that's why I say we got Trump. We got Trump for 8 years, whatever it was, and I hope that maybe this is a learning lesson to the Democratic Party and the Republican Party that if you piss the people off enough, that you can then blow up the establishment. And so far, it's working because you have a lot on your side that are getting elected. That's the people you favor. Just like on the Republican side, we're getting a lot of young blood in here that we favor.
Yeah, but this is a correlation causation fallacy.
What do you mean by that?
You're assuming that just because it's happening right now, that means it's because of Trump only, rather than just a natural trend that would have existed otherwise. If we continued
Again, it's
on
opinion.
with
I don't know if it
Biden,
would
I
have.
think that we would have gotten progressive candidates anyway. We were talking about progressive politics in 2020. We were talking about, I would argue, more progressive things during the Biden administration than we're able to talk about now.
But here's
Let's just be
okay.
honest.
But here you go. Yeah, but I don't think that would have ever happened if Trump didn't become president. Now, the only reason why Joe Biden became president
Wrong.
in 2020 was because of the fact. Oh, I'm sorry.
2016, Bernie. What are you
Well,
talking about,
2016,
dude? Push
2016,
the
Bernie
galaxy.
Sanders should have been the candidate. But
Okay, so then if you think he should have been the candidate, then you think that already existed in terms of support within the context of the Democratic Party as anti-establishment support prior to Trump
well,
even being there. Do you see how
no,
your whole
because
argument of anti-establishment only comes from Trump falls as soon as you bring up Bernie?
yeah, but how does it fall when I say Bernie when they basically Bernie Sanders would have won the primary but got thrown out by the establishment to put in
Okay,
Hillary Clinton, who they felt was a better candidate, which I don't believe was.
okay, so but did he win the election?
Who?
Bernie.
I don't know if he would have won the election. All I know is that if they didn't throw him out before because they wanted to give Hillary Clinton her shot, when you know as well as I do that the Bernie movement was a hell of a lot bigger and Bernie Sanders actually
The,
probably would have
I'm
beat
gonna be
Trump.
honest, I don't think that's true. As someone who likes Bernie better than Clinton, way more.
So you
I
think
wish
Clinton had
Bernie
a
would
better
have been the
chance to beat?
candidate.
You think Clinton had a better chance of beating Trump? Obviously, we know she lost than Bernie
No,
Sanders.
no.
So if
I
you
think
think Bernie had a
I
better
think that
chance,
Bernie had a better shot, right? But I have to acknowledge that I don't think that Bernie won the primary.
I never said he won the
Do I
primary.
think that the
They forced him
establishment
out
does
of.
weird stuff and tries to prevent and limit Bernie and does like really slimy stuff against Bernie? Yeah. But there's a difference between that and claiming that the election itself was directly rigged.
I never said that Bernie. I said Bernie got basically forced out. I didn't say rigged. I said forced out.
Yeah, but like that can be due to votes, right?
When you flip when you flip the primaries around to basically favor one candidate, you basically force the candidates out, which they've been doing for years. So like Iowa's always been the number one county, and then in 2020 they changed it to try to help Biden, and Biden got slaughtered in Michigan. But then they flipped it and brought it to North Carolina to get him back into the race because that's what the establishment does. They
Okay, so
basically
hold up,
force
hold
money.
up. I think what you're not understanding is that there was already a push for anti-establishment before Trump. That's why Trump was able to use the push of anti-establishment in order to get him elected. That's what I'm
I
trying to argue here, and I think that's what you're not understanding.
No, and I get that, but I'm telling you that the establishment forced Bernie out in 2016 is what I'm saying.
And even if you claim that, that's still that there was still a huge faction of the Democratic Party that was anti-establishment. So
So
even
listen,
though
you've been
Clinton won, that doesn't change the fact that that there was a huge faction in the Democratic Party that was already existing as anti-establishment.
okay, and I never said there wasn't, but I'm saying that you guys would have had a better chance against Trump if Bernie was the candidate. But the establishment does wacky things. Why is that? How do they do it? They're not rigging elections, all that crap. That's nonsense. What they do is they'll change the way. So normally, like I said, they always start with Iowa. They always start with Iowa and they work their way down. What they do is when they see that the candidate they prefer They want to win. What then they'll do is they'll flip the state and they'll flip the dates of the primaries to benefit so-and-so candidate. And when they do that, you basically then give them a lead in the primaries, and then the money that these candidates like Bernie Sanders and AOC and all these people are going to need, you basically take it away from them, because if they don't think they can win, then the money is drained and gone. So AOC is in a very fortunate situation. AOC is in a very fortunate situation right now because of the fact that she is so popular. She has a lot of money on her side to run, which is why I don't think they'll be able to do that. So if she wants to run in 2028, which I don't think she does, because I think she has her eyes set on the Senate, she can actually.
You might be
run
right with that. I'm not sure what she's going to end up doing. I hope she'd run.
No, I think she's going to run for the Senate because it's an easier seat. It's an easier ticket for her to win because Chuck Schumer is so unpopular that I believe that she'd win that election in a landslide. It wouldn't be close. If she wants it, it's hers. Schumer will retire before he even runs up against it, because Schumer would be afraid to run against it because he knows he couldn't beat her. So why would he put up his own money against the candidate he knows he can't win? No one has gone against Schumer. This is why I think it's a good thing for AOC to stay out in 2028, because I think she should just go out there, knock Schumer out. Then she can run, basically 2 to 4 years, because she's still very young, learn the politics that she needs to learn to play. And then when she's like 40, then go run for president. And she'll probably win, because by that time, she'll know how to play the game. She'll know how to win, and she'll be more popular than pretty much anyone. But then does she turn into what I'm fighting against? That's the key. And that's what you have to hope, that she doesn't turn into what you are fighting for.
That she doesn't turn to what I'm fighting for?
Turn against the become the establishment candidate, because she then plays.
What do you define as
her beliefs?
Here's an issue. What do you define as the establishment?
Basically, a candidate that will say one thing and then do other things. So
Trump is establishment?
No, because Trump has literally
said no new wars, and
everything.
Started a war with Iran. Trump said he was going to release all the Epstein files, and then has prevented the release of the Epstein files, even though he's legally obligated to do so.
No, he's not legally obligated to do so.
He is legally obligated to do so based on the Epstein Files Transparency Act.
Courts not to. The courts turned him down. The
Epstein Files Transparency Act.
Again, doesn't trump what the courts say. If a judge
the courts did not wait. The courts limit.
A judge
you have to understand,
saying that he had a limit
sir,
on what he could release.
The courts did not limit the legislation from being able to be applicable under law. What are you talking about?
The court said that he couldn't release certain names, certain documents of it, because we're still fighting litigation. Because a lot of these people, a lot of the victims of this were in civil court still.
You're not understanding that they do have the ability to release the millions of documents that exist. They're just choosing not to.
No, but
because of their own reasons. It's not because of the courts at this point.
Fight the judges. Blame the judges. There were judges out there.
You want me to? How about you cite the judges for the claim that you just made?
That I will gladly do for you.
I'll wait, because I would love to see. Because watch it be under Biden. Tyler, thank you for the $5. Yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it? Pat, thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you. As well as Kaylee, thank you very much for the $1. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. The NYPD kept the real information under wraps from one of the most trusted sources, AP, but told this guy the truth. Checks out. Yes, you're right. You're totally right. Bit, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. Oh, that's absolutely diabolical. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and I hope the best for you. Thank you very much.
So you got a judge named Robin Rosenberg. He's a U.S. District Judge in Florida. You got a judge named Emmett Sullivan.
Yeah, when was the claim? Tell me what it was, and I'll read it.
Oh, gotta see. BBC News.
Any titles?
I'm just going through them. There's so many. That's why I'm trying to find the right one.
Okay. Alrighty, give him a second, everybody. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen to help get it out to more people, as always. Jammers, thank you very much for the $3. Thank you very much. I love your shirt today. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I love the Snoopy shirt. It's really fun. Did you find what you're looking for?
I'm finding judges, but I can't find documents on the judges that have basically haven't allowed him to do it. I've only found the judges that are what's it called being have unredacted Epstein files. The judge orders DOJ to turn over some unredacted Epstein files. So like ABC News. So
they're telling them to release them?
Some, not all. So the one wrote.
Interesting. So I'd love to see a source that proves your point rather than proving my point. So maybe you should look for that one. Perpetual, thank you very much for the $10. Thank you.
Some of the unredacted Epstein files. This proves my point that he's not allowed to release all of them.
Thank you.
So if you look at this one,
you're playing the ad in the mic. You can't play it in the mic. It's
sorry. I'm trying not to.
No, it's okay. I can just try to just unmute when you're ready. Just unmute when you're ready. Do give him a second, everybody. It is early morning still. It is early morning.
Oh, you there?
Almost 2 hours in the stream, everyone. Meaning we have another. I think we have like 3 hours left on the stream or so, or about 3 hours. Yeah,
you there, buddy?
You were saying, yeah.
All right. So the one I'm looking at says judge orders DOJ to turn over some unredacted Epstein files. So there is some that he's not allowed to. It's ABC News.
Okay. What's the title?
Judge orders DOJ to turn over some unredacted Epstein files.
Or some unredacted files. Yeah, this is because some of them have already been released. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Until July 2nd.
Uh-huh. Federal judge ordering the Department of Justice to overturn unredacted versions of some of the files related to the late convicted. So this is the unredacted versions of some of the files. Genius.
Some of the files. He's not allowed to release
Sir, these are the unredacted files. The unredacted versions, so that people can look at the unredacted because the Epstein Files Transparency Act said that they had to turn over unredacted versions of these specific files to Congress to be able to show them. So it's just really that they had to show this. And this district judge was actually claiming that they are in violation of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. You didn't even read the article you just cited. It's really funny.
No, I'm actually reading through it right now.
Yep, and it's proving my point. Yeah.
It says that they orders them to release some. When it says some, that means they can't release all. That's what that means.
Sir, these are for unredacted versions because they didn't release all of the unredacted versions of the files that they should have.
But there have been judges that have come out
sense?
and said that he can't. Yes, it
Wait,
makes
no,
sense.
and these aren't public. These aren't public. These are to Congress. Okay.
But there have been judges out there that have said that they can't release all of them because there are things that have vital names in them that they don't want to release.
Sir, this isn't public. We're not talking about public right now. We're specifically talking. That's why they redact the private information and then they give the unredacted files to Congress.
So when judges say to them that you can release some of them to, can I ask you an honest question? Do you really want Congress to have these? Like if the American people can't have them, but do you want Congress to have these documents?
Yeah, well, the American people as a whole can't. That's the only process that we could have to verify as an intermediate body. Intermediary body.
You put a lot more trust in our Congress than I do. You really do.
Okay, well, that's the only realistic situation. And by the way, it's not every single person in Congress that I have to trust. It's at least one member of Congress that I have to trust, which I trust at least one member of Congress. Do you? Because they can look at it. They can request to look at it. And they weren't able to prior to this point because they did not release all of the files unredacted. So that's why they were specifically, the court was asking for these unredacted versions.
Yeah, but there are some things that other courts have said that they couldn't.
They would have to, by the way, they would have to turn over the unredacted versions or explain why the materials were withheld.
They explained why some of them were withheld. They explained that there are certain cases that are still being fought in civil litigation that they were not allowed to release. That's what they said. That's exactly what they said. They said that there were some things that they were not allowed to release because there is stuff still. There are people that are still fighting against the Epstein estate that say that they are not allowed to release.
That's not all of these files. That's not all of these files. You're saying that all of the files. I never said all.
I said some. But you're saying that they need to release.
Sir, again, we're talking about the fucking unredacted versions. What you just cited is something talking about the release of the unredacted versions to Congress. This is not talking about the release of it to the public. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Okay, I don't care about Congress. I care about the public. I care that
I
what the public
understand, but
gets to see.
this is so that so that Congress can verify that this is what this specifically is in relation to the redacted versions.
That's fine, but I don't agree. I don't care if Congress sees them or not. I think if the
Okay, so
American people can't see them,
I think
then
that's
they
absurd
shouldn't
because
get
then
to
they
see
can
them.
just redact everything that would be
Yeah,
incriminating.
but if you give it to Congress, Congress can flip anything they want to flip because they know the American people will never be able to see it. And you know that.
No, not really. You can make claims that other congressional members can fact check.
How can you fact check them if they're not allowed to show the unredacted version of anything?
They can fact check it
So
based upon the claims of other members of Congress, based upon what they've seen.
whatever. I disagree with that.
It's not very
but I'm not-
complicated. I mean, but what you cited specifically is again talking about unredacted Epstein files. So I would please love to see something that proves your point, maybe, like instead of proving my point.
Listen, I'll let you win. I'm not going to go. Next time I come talk to you for again, I will make sure I come on with the exact version. I'll do my due diligence and I will find it because I know there were judges that ordered not to release some of them because of civil lawsuits. I'm just not going to go searching through the internet for it.
Yeah, but
It's
that
so
would
hard to
likely
find
be
it.
in 2024.
What happened? Say that again.
That would likely be in 2024, and that would again be for those specific cases, not for the millions of files that were withheld.
Yeah, but there are specific orders. But that was the whole point of this. There are specific orders that were not allowed to be released because
No, the whole point of
judges
this was
ordered
that
against them.
I was claiming that millions of files have been prevented from being released, and you were trying to claim it was like somehow justified for them to prevent the release of those files.
I'm saying that there have been judges that ordered against the release of them. So if the judges have ordered against the release of them, they're
Not for all
they're
of
not
those millions
allowed
of
to.
files, but rather specifically for the files relating to those specific instances, if that were true,
Okay.
which, by the way, is not the case.
But if there were judges out there that said it, and again, I'll find it for you the next time I talk to you. If there were judges that said there were certain files that were not allowed to be released because of fighting, like I said, pending civil litigation against the Epstein estate, then they are not obligated to release those to anybody because they got a court order against them to do so. The court order would trump anything the federal government would say because
That would
it's
be
a
the
state
explanation that they would provide, right, in that situation.
case. And they have.
Wait, and it
They-
would be
literally,
only
there were-
applicable to those specific cases.
Pam Bondi stated it when she was still the attorney general, said that to the media. And then the Democrats have been fighting for whatever they want to fight
You're
for.
you're misunderstanding, by the way. Which the Trump administration, by the way, fired her. Why do you think they fired her?
They fired her because she wasn't doing what Trump wanted her to do. So she got
Like
fired.
what?
I couldn't tell you why Trump. I don't know Trump's brain. Why he fired her.
So Trump is controlling the DOJ completely?
Trump is the boss.
Is he weaponizing and controlling the DOJ?
Trump is the boss. Every president gets their choice of who they want to run the Department of Justice. He is the boss. Any way you slice it. If my boss didn't like me,
you understand
he'd
that
fire me.
he's dealing with the daily doings of the DOJ, whereas the Biden administration, they didn't. They left it
You
separate and
actually
independent.
think that the Biden administration didn't have anything to do with Merrick Garland basically indicting Trump for every little thing they could find? Come
Bro,
on.
he didn't go after him, like at all, right? I think that Merrick Garland is weak for not going after Trump more. Yeah, I think that Trump wasn't gone after enough. I think that Trump is a threat to our democracy. He incited a violent insurrection of the Capitol. This guy literally is a horrible person that we should have gone after more.
What person was charged with insurrection again? I forgot that one.
You understand that Jack Smith had a case that beyond reasonable doubt proved that Trump violated the law relating to the January 6th case, according to his own testimony in court.
Yeah, but you again though you're saying he incited the riot of the insurrection. So, out of all the people that Trump pardoned, out of every one, how many of those people were tried and convicted of insurrection? Just please, give me one.
Again, they didn't go through the context of the entirety of the case with insurrection because of Merrick Garland and because of that court adjudication process. You have to be very clear here. That's what I'm saying. He didn't go far enough on. There needed to be those particular charges on insurrection that were carried through and they were convicted on. Now, wasn't there a charge against Trump for January 6th specifically that they just didn't follow through with it yet?
Yeah, and in that case, when Jack Smith, because Trump won the election, just tell me, out of all the charges that Jack Smith brought up, what was the insurrection charge? Because, oh, that's right, there was not one. He brought him up on a bunch of other crap, but not the insurrection. Why? Because it wasn't an insurrection. Be real.
Sir, can
You
you
call it
define an
whatever you want.
insurrection?
Dude, you want me to go look up the dictionary version, or do you want me to tell you what I believe?
No, I want you to tell me what you think it is.
An insurrection is to overthrow any form of government.
So to try to violently overthrow the government. So were there members in the or in the January 6th riots that were trying to violently overthrow the government?
I don't think so. No, I think it was a riot that got out of hand.
So Trump didn't tell them to go to the Capitol and take back the country from those that stole it from them. He didn't say that.
No. Trump said march to the Capitol and voice.
So he didn't say take back the country from those that stole it from you. He didn't say that.
He said he wants you to voice your opinion peacefully and patriotically, is what he said.
He said, fight like hell and take back the country from those that stole it from you. And then he pardoned the violent rioters who beat police officers, and he called them patriots.
Peacefully and patriotically.
He didn't want violence on that day, but then he pardoned all the people who committed violence and then called them patriots.
He said, please go to the Capitol and let your voice be heard and fight.
He said, take back the country from those that stole it from you.
He never said that.
Yes, he did.
He said peacefully and patriotically, go let your voice be heard.
Sir, you're talking about something else that he said. I'm saying that he specifically said, take back the country from those that stole it from you. Did he not say that?
Maybe he said that. Okay.
Yes.
But he also said peacefully and patriotically, make your voice heard. People say things in heat
and
of
I
moment.
think that was in contradiction to his other actions and statements, such as pardoning the violent rioters who beat police officers and calling them patriots. It's clear that he wanted violence on that day, and he was just trying to say that to get over that.
So do you think Chuck Schumer should be arrested?
We're
trying to incite a riot to kill, to go out there and, murder Brett Kavanaugh?
What evidence do you have that he incited a riot against Brett Kavanaugh?
I don't know. After he said, we will to go there and fight, and basically we will the whirlwind upon you. And then literally a couple of days later, some maniac went over there and tried to kill Kavanaugh. Maybe that
one that's difference in because again, Trump made this claim. Then later that day they went and did this. He literally told them to go to the Capitol. Then they did. Radically different. That's just some random person doing so based upon a claim that he made. And even so, I'd have to know what specific claim that he made. Can you be very specific, and can you give me the very specific claim? Because I think that you're engaging in a complete change of the context. Very likely.
How am I changing the context when
because Chuck Schumer is like a fucking moderate, and I doubt he said some crazy shit like that.
We will release the whirlwind against you, Kavanaugh. You don't remember that, or you want me to just
the whirlwind is not. Whirlwind is not at all the same as Donald Trump inciting a violent insurrection at the Capitol and pardoning them and calling them patriots. Get a grip.
You're going to make me have to go find you the exact quote.
Go ahead. Kathy, thank you very much for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for Happy Monday, Parker. They will they ever wise up? I know, right? Thank you very much. I really appreciate Kathy. Can we get some W's for Kathy in the comment section for the $50? Thank you very much. As well as King of the Golden State, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I know it's so ridiculous, right? As well as Brent, thank you very much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, no, I have seen that. But thank you very much, Brent. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So you wouldn't consider this that you had released the whirlwind and you will pay the price. You don't think that is a problem?
You have claiming to Brett Kavanaugh that he released the whirlwind
and would pay the price.
That's not at all calling for violence. You're being ridiculous. This is such a reach. But peacefully and patriotically is. No, him saying that you should take back the country from those that stole it from you to fight like hell and then pardoning the violent rioters who beat police officers and calling them patriots, that's pretty fucking blatantly obvious.
What did he say? Say that one more time about police officers, what?
Yeah, he pardoned the violent rioters who beat police officers and called them patriots.
Listen, he pardoned. He didn't know of all the people.
Yes, he did. They were convicted, sir. What do you mean he didn't know?
There were people convicted of nonsense. There was a woman that was convicted.
No, they weren't. Wait, some of these people admitted to doing it. They were caught on video doing so. There were situations where Officer Vanone talked about the fact that this happened to him. What are you talking about? You're going to sit
You
there
don't
and
think
deny that
that
this
what's called
happened, yet Officer Fanone talked about this, witnessed it, it happened to him
Fanone,
directly,
that one.
yet
Yeah,
we
you pay a
can
lot of
show
money to
video
keep that.
camera footage, and we can have the people who did it themselves admit to it. Hello? What the fuck do you mean?
And I
What
guess
type of
what's
denial
called
is
the
this?
camera angle of Fanone in the back saying, "Oh, you know, what's called?" Well, they caught the camera of Fanone actually saying, "Oh my God, we got them here." Right? You know, making a joke of it. Right? That was they didn't care
What?
about
What
that
joke?
one. There's a camera angle of Fanone, what's called, showing like of Fanone actually in the back after this all happened, basically joking with the cops and the people of the buddies of this. There was a lot of audio.
Give me a
and video.
fucking single source for that. That's such bullshit. Go fuck yourself. See that? But he was literally they fucking drove a stun gun into his neck, and you're gonna sit here and make up some dumb fucking bullshit about this?
I am telling you this right now.
No,
I
fuck off,
believe-
dude. Are you serious? That's
I
pathetic.
believe that
These people
anyone-
were
yeah,
convicted of assaulting cops, literally attempting to
This is
murder
what
them.
I believe in that situation. I believe they overreached on a ton of the people because they were trying to make a point.
Wait.
But
Do
here's
you
what I
think
believe.
every
If-
single one of the people who committed violence was wrongfully convicted?
I didn't say everyone. No.
Okay,
I
so then
believe
why
that
did
there were
Donald
a
Trump
ton of
pardon the?
people.
So then why did Donald Trump pardon those people?
I don't know because he never should have. He never should have people that actually assault police officers. I don't know which ones did and which.
Okay, and he
ones
called them
didn't.
patriots. So that tells you he wanted that violence on that day.
No, he did
It does. It totally does. If you believe that there are justified instances, well, then you believe that he wanted violence on that day, given that he
You
literally
don't think that the federal
he
government, the Biden
advocated for it.
administration
He told them to
overstepped
go
their bounds in a lot
fight
of
like
these
hell and
cases?
take back the country from those that stole it from you, and then pardoned the violent rioters who attempted to murder police officers and beat them, and called them patriots. How much more do I have to fucking tell you? This is
There are
very
people
blatantly
that-
obvious
there are
right in front of you.
politicians that
Why
use that
can't you
language all the
acknowledge it?
time. There are politicians that use that language all the time to people. That's okay. It's political speech. It's covered by the First Amendment. It's covered
Political
by free
speech? Sir, it's not
Look-
political speech to literally pardon violent rioters who beat police officers, call them patriots,
I don't
and incite
agree
a
with the
violent
people who
insurrection at the
pardon. I
Capitol.
don't agree
That's
with all
called
the people. I
inciting
know that
of
there were
an
people-
insurrection.
Listen, I know there were people that were just walked through the Capitol that got handed years and years. and years
Don't
of prison
defend
just
being
for
a
walking
traitor
through
to
the
this
Capitol.
country. Why are you defending being a traitor?
What?
Yeah, this is Trump being a traitor.
This is Trump being a traitor?
Yes.
Again, no. What happened that day that stopped the country? The vote was certified the same. It just was delayed for
Push
a
the
couple of
galaxy.
hours. There was a delay for a couple of hours. Yet, guess what? Trump was kicked out of office because he lost the election. And then guess what happened? He left the office. He left the office. And then when the moment they realized that he was going to try to come back, then they started filing all this bogus crap lawsuits against him. And you know it.
No,
Because here's the
no,
truth.
it's literally
If Trump
it's literally
would've
just that he
walked
wasn't
away,
president anymore,
they
so they could
would've
go after him.
They would have never went after him for anything if he would have just walked away and said, "I'm not running in 2020." That's the
Bullshit.
truth. And you know it. Deep
Nope.
down, you know it.
Wrong.
You just won't say it because your followers lose followers over that. And you actually lose followers.
Wrong. Okay, did you know? Because these cases are independent of the Democratic Party, right? The felonies case and the case relating to the civil case. If he didn't say that he was going to run, he still would have had these cases against him because he still committed the crime. Wrong. You're so
Like, guess when
wrong. I
Alvin
just could be
Bragg got elected
wrong.
in 2022,
Wrong.
he said that. You want me to explain?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alvin
Go
Bragg
ahead and be
in
wrong.
2022 got elected as the Attorney General of the city of New York. He came in and said that there's nothing here for me to file for the Stormy Daniels case. And then somehow the Merrick Garland's assistant GA, just district attorney, ended up magically finding his way over into the city of New York and becoming Alvin Bragg's second man, and then tried the case. Right?
Expelliarmus! Harry Potter? He's just Harry Potter.
How? So that's just
He's just Harry Potter. He could just come up with random crimes that didn't exist. Harry Potter? Is that what you're saying? Get back into the app, brother. Oh, he's out of here. He's lying too much. He didn't leave the live. Donald, thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. He hasn't really communicated with me much, so I'm actually not quite sure. I hope so.
so when he left. When the number two of the DOJ left the government, left the district attorney under Merrick Garland, and decided just magically right before in 2022 when they were about to go, basically Trump was about to announce his run, that he just magically fell himself into New York, and then Merrick Garland didn't tell him to go find something on Trump. Magically
So the federal government, that was all independent, though.
He was convicted, genius. He was convicted. The case relating to his crimes was in New York. Okay? It was a state crime.
What was the underlying crime?
Wait, actually, hold up. The state civil offense. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, what was the underlying crime of that to make it a felony? Just please give me that, because I've never heard it.
They didn't specify the underlying crime. I'm talking. Wait, can I just clarify? The civil case. Do you agree that has nothing to do with the federal government?
The civil case on Stormy Daniels. No, I'm sorry. The civil case of Eugene
Carroll. Yeah.
No, it's nothing to do with it. That's not that one. The one that needed to be a federal case so they could prevent him from running.
So there was only one case that went against him, or like, what are you saying went against him on multiple things?
Because the only way they could have prevented him from running was if they convicted him of a federal crime, and they couldn't do it because
they did convict him of a crime.
Yeah, no, they convicted him of a federal 34 counts of blah 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 running bullshit.
They did convict him for a federal.
Yeah.
He was convicted for a federal crime, and you're crying about it?
No, because you had to actually specify the underlying crime so that they could make it a felony. So they charged him 34 freaking counts of bullshit.
Wait, you don't. Wait, the court case literally determined you did not need to specify. It just had to be one of the 3 specific predicate crimes that was prior established in the court.
That's the first time in like the history of New York.
Not true. What's your source?
I don't care about my source. You know it's bullshit.
I don't care what my source is. I'm just going to claim it right out of my ass.
Because you know it's bullshit.
Because you know it's bullshit. Yeah, I know your claim is bullshit. That's why I called it.
Your claim is bullshit.
Your claim is bullshit. That's why you have no sources for it.
Admit it because you know it's a nonsense.
Admit it. You have no sources for it. Your claim is bullshit, buddy. Hey, buddy, your claim is bullshit. No fucking evidence. How does it feel, buddy?
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, because why? Because I'm right? Because I actually have evidence for what I said?
It's ridiculous that you...
It's ridiculous that I ask for evidence?
That one up. That's the stupidest one you could possibly bring up. Because you know they convicted him on freaking 34 counts of paperwork and turned it into a federal crime. That's the joke about it. No one was hurt. The banks you paid all the banks back.
This has nothing to do with the banks. You're thinking of a separate case.
Oh, the other one, Letitia.
You're mistaking the cases, sir.
Yeah. So this was the Stormy Daniels case.
There's so many cases against Trump that you're mistaking them, sir?
That now Cohen is freaking saying that he was coerced into this, and then he ended up getting jail on anyway. So they believed a serial liar. It's amazing.
So you mean Trump?
They used a serial liar to actually make a case.
Wait, that literally said something that got him. Wait, did what he say, was it in his benefit?
It was, because it got him less time.
You have to understand that he wouldn't have got time if he didn't say anything.
No, he would have got brought up. He was getting brought up on federal charges, and they actually dropped time on his federal case, so he only had to go into prison for a year.
Why were the charges originally against him?
For stealing millions of dollars from people.
No, I'm asking about the charges relating to the case relating to Trump. I don't know what stealing money from people you're referencing. Like, are you talking about how Trump did that to like a children's charity? Or? No,
because that whole case is predicated on just literally a paperwork error about campaign finance laws that everyone seems to do, but it's okay for everybody else except for Donald Trump.
I don't know. It's specifically the falsification of business records in the first degree, which is a Class C felony in the state of New York because of the predicate crime. Because he was trying to hide the hush money payments he made to Stormy Daniels so that it didn't affect his election prospects.
No, actually, it's not a felony. It's a misdemeanor. But
that's a felony because of the predicate crime. Cope.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They had to add on a crime that they had to find. They still don't even know what the crime was because
they do because there was 3 specific predicate crimes it could have been. It had to have been one of the predicate crimes. It doesn't have to specify to be only one of them, right? Or all of them have to agree on what predicate crime. Just that there was a predicate crime in the scenario.
Do you understand how ridiculous that is?
Nope.
You definitely do.
No, I don't.
And you can just make up 3 bogus crimes.
This is like how the court process works. Just cope.
Yeah, but they're supposed to specify the underlying crime, but they never did.
You see, can we just point and laugh at this guy for cope?
You could just find him guilty.
He just has TDS, dude. You have really bad TDS, bro. Cope.
TDS. I don't care.
You don't care that you have TDS?
I don't care I have TDS. I've been called a lot worse in my life.
It's not that I'm calling you worse. I'm saying that you have TDS, Trump devotion syndrome. There's nothing you could do that would get you to stop supporting him. You'd support him no matter what. You find any way that you can to defend this guy, even if it's against facts, reason, evidence, and logic.
No, I literally just, again, I said my points.
I like Trump because, again, it's the against the establishment candidate, and that's what I like him for. And again, in 2 years,
Trump is
he'll
the
be gone.
establishment, sir.
What?
Trump is the establishment, sir. Based upon your
No.
definition that you provided, he is the establishment.
No, he's not.
Yes, he
He's
is.
not.
You said it's someone who says something and then does the complete opposite. No new wars. We'll release all the Epstein files. Repeal and replace the ACA.
We have been in a war
Drain
with
the swamp.
Iran for 50 freaking years, man.
No,
He
we
didn't
haven't.
start this war. Yes, we have.
No, we haven't, sir.
We've been against Iran for 50 damn years.
Sir, were we at war with Iran when Biden was president?
What?
Were we at war with Iran when Biden was president?
So whenever Iran was bombing, Israel, or that it's our closest ally,
Were we at war with Iran when Biden was president?
Yes.
Really? When?
Yeah.
The whole time?
I don't know. Every time Iran sent a missile over to Israel, and we're basically helping Israel out with our military stuff, that makes us at war with them too. Our biggest ally. So yes, if Israel is at war with Iran, then we are at war with Iran. Just like we are at war with Russia because
I disagree.
We are allies with Ukraine.
I disagree. Wait, so then
disagree
are we at war with Ukraine because North Korea is helping Russia and we're allied with North Korea?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, are we at war with Ukraine because we're allied with North Korea and they're helping Russia?
We're not allied with North Korea.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we did.
No,
Trump is now allied with North Korea. How do you feel about that?
Oh God, it's a political stunt to make you guys freaking lose your minds. That's all it is.
I mean, that just sounds like you're the one losing your mind right now because you don't know what to do.
Because the fact is, I'm right about this. I mean, the fact is that we are fighting with Ukraine against Russia. We're sending them the missiles.
Yeah, and then I'm asking you,
so that makes us at war with
Are
them,
you at
right?
war with Ukraine, given that you're allied with North Korea?
We're not allied with North Korea.
We are.
Again, Trump could say that the sky is green and you believe it. You would believe it.
Sir, he claims that he literally is trying to prevent us from engaging in military training exercises in South Korea for the benefit of Kim Jong-un when they're still continuing ICBM tests. Like,
you actually think that North Korea is going to do anything stupid while Trump is president?
they're already doing these ICBM tests that he has an issue with, or had an issue with historically. Now it seems like he doesn't care. And by the way, he's making this big issue with socialism, but then literally allies with North Korea.
You guys will believe anything he says. It's amazing to me. It really is. He says a million different things over and over again. Everything he said must be true. Yet, you keep saying he's a liar. So, I mean, he's a liar when it benefits you, but it's not a liar when he doesn't benefit you.
No, he is a liar, and there are circumstances where he doesn't lie. But he is a liar, so it's often that he does lie.
So maybe he's lying about being allied with North Korea.
You know, when he says, based on my very good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, I am not happy with the fact that the United States has long ago agreed to participate in joint military exercises with South Korea. Right? That's him explicitly describing that he has an issue with this. And he asked the president, and he specifically said this because he asked the president of South Korea if they would like us to join in the denuclearization of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and they said no thanks. So, by the way, because Trump destroyed our relationships with South Korea, he's then going to take the side of North Korea because of that.
Again, you really just if you think that's true, God, I give up. There's no hope.
So I can't take what Trump is saying seriously, under your view?
No, because if you're going to say he's a liar and then he says some things that's true, then he's lying about this, he's true
Wait,
about
do you
this,
think people who are pathological liars, do you think every statement they make is false?
I'm telling you, he's not allying with me.
Wait, no, I'm asking, someone who's a pathological liar, do you think every statement they make is false?
Pathological liar? Yeah, actually, yes.
Okay, well, I think you're objectively wrong, because someone can be a pathological liar and also tell the truth in some scenarios?
I think,
or say what's true in some scenarios.
Like a pathological liar will lie about everything.
It's not in every single scenario. It's not actually every single scenario. That's like someone claiming they're not a pathological liar because they didn't lie in one scenario, yet they lied in all other scenarios.
Listen, I believe a pathological liar will lie about every single thing. They may sprinkle a few things that are true in that statement.
Okay, so then they do say things that are true. You just contradicted
Yeah,
yourself.
but it's in the context of a statement they're lying about.
He just contradicted himself.
I did not contradict myself.
You did. You just said that some people who are pathological liars can still tell the truth.
No. I said they can say things that are factually true in a statement.
You just conceded. Thank you for the contradiction.
No, you're not letting me finish. You just like to talk over me. They can say something that's factually true in a statement, but the statement they're portraying is factually false. That's what I mean. So you can't figure out what.
So you're saying every false statement that someone makes who's a pathological liar is always wrong.
There are people that literally just can't tell the truth.
Like, for example, like if they answer questions in math class, they're going to be answering incorrectly every single time.
No, I'm saying that they'll make a reason why they can't.
Oh wait, so they will say true things when they're in school, right?
I'm saying that
or when they're doing their job, because it's part of doing their job, right?
Something that they know is wrong, to make it right. Like, they know they're wrong, but they will always find a way to fight you on why they're right. That's what I think a pathological liar.
Yeah, that's like Trump, like with the election in 2020.
The election in 2020.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about the election in 2020.
Yeah, like how he lost. And he still to this day claims it was rigged.
Wasn't rigged. He lost.
Yeah, exactly. But he still to this day claims that. So he's a pathological liar, right?
Now, he claims it was rigged because of what the governors did in these states. That's why he claims it was rigged.
What did the governors do in the states that made it rigged?
The governors signed executive orders to basically circumvent the state constitutions, which allowed mail-in voting. And when the courts challenged him, when he challenged the courts on it, the courts told him that
they allowed mail-in voting. Yeah, and in like during a pandemic.
Yes.
Again, wait, how did Trump vote in 2020?
What?
How did Trump vote in 2020?
Trump voted by mail because he was allowed to, because the state law writes it. Not all state laws are the same. Pennsylvania's state law clearly states that you could not vote by mail. Yet the freaking governor signed an executive order saying that you could. And then when the state legislators filed a lawsuit against it, the courts came back and said there's not enough time to stop it. So then they voted. Then they literally those votes.
Mail-in voting is not fraudulent. Cope. This was during a pandemic. Cope.
What is that?
He voted by mail in 2020. He voted by mail in 2024. He is a hypocrite. He's a walking hypocrite. Walking red flag. What a hypocrite.
What does voting by mail and circumventing the Constitution have anything to do with COVID?
How did any court determine that it circumvented the Constitution?
Again, if the state constitution...
Can you name one court case that determined that it violated the Constitution?
See, the problem is they never took it up.
So you have no evidence that it violated the Constitution?
No, because the courts told Trump, everyone that he challenged, that he could not physically challenge the ruling because the election has already been held.
Oh,
it has already been held.
That's rough. That's rough. Unfortunate.
But that's true.
Unfortunate. So they didn't violate. So there was no court determination that they violated the Constitution, correct?
Yeah, but you guys have also been lying for the last 8 years, saying that he lost every single one of those cases when all the courts said that he could not file because the election's already been held.
No. It wasn't just because it's because he lost those cases. 60 plus court cases, he lost them.
Never
Audits
lost.
in all the swing states, he lost.
They were filed uncontested. They were filed uncontested.
Because they didn't have enough evidence?
No, because they told him he could not file the lawsuit after he lost the election. Because after the election was over, they said
wait, for what claims? For what claims could he not file a lawsuit? That's just not true. They were able to specifically go after this, and they tried to do the court case. That's why there were 60 plus court cases.
And said that they could not file the lawsuit. The courts came back and said he could not
because
file
of lack of evidence
after the election has already been over.
Because of lack of evidence.
But yet they dismissed them, and then he brought the case up again in 2020 to prevent that nonsense from happening again. That was the whole point of it.
Brought it up again in 2020? I'm confused.
So in states like Georgia, in states like Pennsylvania, it wasn't mail-in voting. It was the mailing out all the ballots to non-registered voters, where they just mailed the ballot out to anyone that was blah, blah, blah for the state.
No, you got to be registered for them to mail it out to you, genius.
Okay, so they mailed them out to registered voters.
Yes. Hey, guess what you got, John? You got a misinformation flag, so I do have to go on to the next person's TikTok TOS. You're all going to come up a different day, and we can finish this conversation. Let's go on to the next individual.